So just a quick introduction to our topic. Ours is creativity and innovation. So we're going to go ahead and start with the pre-test. And this can be completed either on the computer or through text. And so if you go to polev.com and then / my username, or you can just text that number or my username to that number, then you can answer the question in 1 or 2 words. Describe creativity. We'll give everyone a few minutes to sign on and get ready for that.
Type in poll.ev.com and then her username, or you can text, either one works.
And so what it's doing right now is just creating a word cloud of what your guys' responses. And this is just kind of give us what you guys think about creativity and to kind of help us brainstorm on the topic.
Though this isn't our presentation, like what we're using as our presentation, this is a cool little poll thing that you can do. So if you don't want to do Kahoot, or if you don't want to do something like all online to this is something that they can use their phones for too. And then you have like little word cloud. It's just little fun activities.
Yeah, there are a lot of different features on this specific platform. So what I'm seeing a lot on this is communicate, creative, obviously, fun, ideas, an outlet, everyone, exciting, unique, which is great. So we're all pretty much on the same page. So I'm going to move to our next question. And it goes to multiple choice from here. So what is Storybird?
Does everyone have their answers in?
Take 1 more minute for answers. Alrighty, now we'll move on to the next question. Is Storybird free? We'll take about 1 more minute for you guys to send in your answers. All right, and the next question, what are the types of account used on Storybird? It's fun to watch them go back and forth. All right, looks like we have all our answers in. And so I believe this is the final question. How does Storybird work? Oh, there's one more after this. We'll take a few more seconds for anyone to send in their final answers on that. And our final question, how can teachers utilize Storybird? Bless you. All right. So I am going to pass it on to Leah.
Okay.
To tell us a little bit about Storybird.
You're going to click through it for us.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a how-to guide for Storybird and for our topic, creativity and innovation in the classroom.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm doing.
Just hit.
Nope, I don't.
Yeah, just.
Okay, so what is Storybird? Storybird is a collaborative storytelling tool where students, teachers, and others get to create their own stories using the art that is provided. And a user can simply just create a story by dropping and dragging pictures and adding text to their pictures. So you can express your creativity and create your own story. And it's very easy to use, and teachers can set up a classroom on Storybird where they can give assignments, grades, and they can give feedback to students on Storybird. First, you'll need to create an account, so you guys can go to storybird.com, and once you get there, you will click the blue box in the upper right corner that says sign up for free. So I'll give you a few minutes to do that. Okay, you can go to the next one. Okay, so when registering, you can choose the option that matches your uses. So you can basically register as a student, teacher, or regular user. And when I signed up for teacher. So since you guys are all going to be teachers, I'd recommend teacher. Okay, so just put in your information and then you press create account. So if you're registering as a teacher, you can choose to create a class, and then you put the class grade level. So when I did mine, I just put Tech for Teachers. And then if you don't want to put a class right now, you can just press cancel. And then if you create a class, you'll need to add an end date for your class. So you just select whatever end date you want, and then you press create class. You guys don't really have to do this part right now because you're not actually creating a class, but I wanted to show you how you would use it as a teacher. And then if you were using this as a teacher, you would add students, and you would see students in the upper left right there, and you click it, and then you would manually add your students. You can type in their names, and then it would give them a passcode to access the class. So then you can invite your students to access the class, which is basically where your students get an email, and it says, you have been invited to this class, you have to enter this code, and they then have access to the class, and they can start writing and doing the assignments you give them. Once your students have access to the class, they can see the assignments you assign them, and then you can add due dates and grade their work as they publish their work. So basically, publishing just means they finish their work, and they can publish it privately or where only the teacher can see their work. So basically, this is kind of like our Dropbox on D2L, because they will turn in their work. You can give them grades. You can comment on their work. So yeah, it's really good for teachers to use. Here's an example view of how to view student work and give a grade if you were using it as a teacher. So you'll see their name. I put my name in there. And then you'll click on the green check where it says published. And once you click on the green check, you will see their work. So here's an example of a work I did. And then once you see it, you can click grading to give them a grade. It can be a letter grade or a numeric grade, and then you just click submit, and then it will notify the student that their work has been graded. So basically kind of like D2L does. Okay, so this is something you guys can do right now. You can start creating your own story. You can go up to the button that says Write, and you can click Start with Art, and then you'll see a whole bunch of different artworks, and you can click one you like. So once you find an image you like, you're going to click on the lightning bolt on the right bottom corner, and then you're going to choose what type of book you want, like a long form book, a chapter book, or like a picture book. But I always do a picture book because it's like super easy. So once you click what you want, it's going to bring it up, and you're going to have a whole bunch of different pictures on the sides, and that's where you're going to drop and drag your pictures. So you can also add your title. It's going to let you change the background on your title, but you can add different types of pictures for your title too. And then for each page, you can add text to a new page by clicking like the little plus sign in the right corner at the bottom. So you can add as many pages as you want, I believe. And then when you're done typing your story and adding your pictures, you can click the blue Save and Exit button at the left corner, and then you'll be asked if you're finished, and if you're not finished, you can always come back and work on it later. But if you are finished, you can just click I'm finished and publish my story. And then you can publish it privately or publicly, and publicly is where like everyone in your class can see your work, and then privately you just have to share a link of your work to your friends or whoever you want to see your story. And then once you choose if you want to publish privately or publicly, you will then click Publish at the bottom of the page. That's pretty easy. And then we're going to show you an example of a story I wrote and show you how easy it is to use Storyboard.
I'm going to read it to you guys like you're second graders so that you guys get the full gist of it all. So, does it blow out more? It's not wanting to. Okay. It's okay, we can do that. So she wrote a story called Leo the Not So Scared Leopard. Deep in the jungle there lived a leopard. His name was Leo. Leo liked to run and jump. This was great, except there was one problem. He scared all the other animals away. The other animals thought Leo was frightening, and they thought he was going to eat them. Leo liked to show off his sparkling smile. His teeth were very sharp, and this scared the other animals. None of the other animals knew Leo did not like meat. He enjoyed salads, and he was a vegetarian. Leo could often look for friends, but he could not find any. One day, some of the other animals secretly watched Leo, and they discovered that Leo was a vegetarian and seemed very friendly. The other animals decided they would like to be friends with Leo, and Leo was very happy, and they all had a great time playing together. The end. So,
as you could tell, it's very simple. You can actually animate the characters as well and make them move around. But this is just a small sample just so you can kind of see how it works out. This works for all age groups too. So elementary kids are going to want to do a simple story like this, like a storybook. Middle school kids may be able to relate it back to something that they're doing within the classroom, and high school kids can also do the same thing as middle school kids. If they're learning about Romeo and Juliet, they can make their own little thing. You can go back to the slideshow. I don't know if it's...
It does have that chapter book option. So
Yeah.
if you're in a high school writing class, it'd be a really easy way for them to create their own stories and share them easily.
Is the benefits next? Yeah. Okay. So I gave you all a sheet of paper that says benefits for using Storybird. I can't talk today. Storybird. Just some simple things. You guys can read it yourself, but I'll go over the main things. It's really easy, as you can tell, and it's fun. It's easy to make, it's easy to share, it's easy to read, and it's easy to print off if you wanted to. It's truly a creative outlet for students to work with, because we all know that just going and typing a whole document on Microsoft is not as fun as this. This is a good way to get your kids kind of an innovative, creative way to do things. It's created so that if parents want to work with them, if friends want to work with them, it can be a group project if they want it to be. It really influences the abstract thoughts in their heads because they need to think outside the box. It's not going to be step A, step 1, step 1, step 2, step 3. It's good to be innovative and abstract. What are some other things? So more than 5 million students and 400,000 educators actually use Storybird, so it's very high up there. There's really good reviews on it if you wanted to go look on them. Schools have seen as much as third grade level jumps in literacy when using Storybird, so it helps them learn too. It's not just so they can like kind of play around, it's also giving them a way to learn in the creative abstract of it. Here's the next one. So it's free, which is great. If you do want more tools and things like that, you can buy a membership thing, but it really works just as well with free. You'll just get a couple of extra things, more animations, more characters probably, but really it works well with free too. Teachers don't really have to do much to prepare for it. They kind of just give the kid the website, and the kid can just do what they need for it. The teacher can administer the accounts how they like through the account, as we showed you earlier, that you can put the students on there and it'll let them know when it's graded, let them know what they're supposed to be doing, and make sure that they're doing their things on task. There's safeguards on them so that they don't go off and do some bad things. Teachers can set up due dates and stuff. We talked about that. It helps with early writing. And then mainly it reinforces the 3 C's, so create, critical thinking, and collaborate and communicate. So those are pretty high things that need to be done when they're learning and growing and becoming their education's getting wider. So the 3 C's are very important in that. So, yeah, that's pretty much the benefits. There's a lot of benefits to it. I could probably go on for another 3 pages, but I don't want to bore you all. But is there any questions or anything like that about Storybird? Would you guys by chance use this in the classroom? I think one way that would be great to do it is, like, for instance, high schoolers when they're learning about Romeo and Juliet. I personally didn't really care for reading that story because of how hard the language was. They can go in and create their own story of it so that you can see how their outlook on the story is. And that's just a small example. But if they wanted to, that's the way you know, okay, this is what they're getting from it and this is how they're seeing the story. Okay, well, this student sees it a completely different way. But now I know because they created the story in front of me. And it's also so that they can kind of learn from it too. Yes?
I do have a question. What is the badges? The next writing badge, is that just like
Do you know what the badges are?
There's different milestones. There's different milestones on the website. So as the kids, the more stories they write and the more minutes they spend on it, it'll track everything. And so it's just an incentive sort of. And I think the teacher can set up specific ones. The kids also earn like stickers and emojis based on like points they accumulate from writing. And so then those are things they can incorporate into their books and such little reward system.
A lot of classes or classrooms right now have iPads in them. Even the lower poverty schools are starting to get iPads and computers within them. So since it's just an easy website to go onto, they can literally pull up the iPad and work together in groups or work together by themselves, and it's right there in front of them. You don't have to worry about going to the library or something like that. But that's just for the districts that have been able to bring in those kind of technology.
So we're going to go ahead and move on to the post-test. And I need to make it full screen. Make it full screen. All right, so that's cool. Full screen. Awesome. Cool. All right. So, what is Storybird? Oh.
There it goes.
All right. Make sure everyone has a minute to log on to this again and get their answers in. Okay. Is Storybird free? Go away. Why is this going away?
Oh, it's still the last question for them.
Oh no. Oh, that's why I didn't activate it. I'm sorry, guys. Right. Okay, this won't go away. Okay, there we go. All right. Looks like we have about everyone in. Show results, and yes, there is a membership available, but it is overall free. All right, what types of accounts are used on Storybird? I apologize that this is not going away. Ah! I think we have about everyone in. So, and it is student and teacher accounts, although you can specify the classrooms, what type of a classroom you have. How does Storybird work? Oh my gosh, I keep doing that. All right, give everyone a few more seconds. Yes, children can write a variety of stories and choose various illustrations and backgrounds to match their story. All right, how can teachers utilize Storybird? Oh, I'm so sorry. A few more moments for everyone to send their answers in. Right. Yes, they can access the stories written by their class, create assignments, and it is a platform to introduce them to different types of books. Awesome. So that completes our presentation. Thank you guys so much.